Are we live? We're live? We're live, right? Yes, we are live.
Yep, should be live.
Okay.
Live,
Cool.
It's Friday night.
It's Friday, and it's October
Friday
1st.
night.
And we're going to be talking about the greatest horror franchise ever made for gaming, Silent Frickin' Hill.
Get ready for the Wildside podcast.
Thank you. Oh, wow. I can't get used to the reverse thing on this camera for some reason. Thank you. Freaking camera.
You're welcome.
So, Decker, do you want to entertain them while I send out some some links to people?
Aw, do I have to?
I'm your boss, yes. What do I pay you for?
Nothing.
Hello, everyone. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Wildside podcast featuring Silent Hill. Hello there, Mr. Anime. Hello there, Mad Matt. Good to see you guys. Today,
They've arrived. I didn't even have to wait on them. That's awesome.
They're true friends.
I have true friends. No, I'm
You mean
sorry.
besides me?
y'all?
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about Silent Hill, and we're going to be talking about our individual experiences with it, as well as, I lost my train of thought. Oh well. As well as things that we like to see, and in future installments, along with certain aspects of the franchise in universe mythology. And we're just going to have a good old time bringing in October. So
I'm sure looking forward to it. Dang it.
they found me again.
And now, why are we wrapped into this?
I wish I would have made that work. We had the siren on our phone and just played it. That would have been amazing. Oh well.
We have like a dimmer on our lights.
That worked.
Ooh.
Spooky, scary, spooky, scary, spooky, scary. Okay.
Spoiler alert for the audience. I've never played Silent Hill.
You are banished to the Shadow Realm, mister.
Oh well.
Well, at least
No.
missed opportunity to say the other world, but oh well.
Yeah, that works. I was trying to be merciful because the Shadow Realm's much better, much
Yeah, I was gonna
safer.
say something.
It's
Yeah,
safer.
you can at least get out alive.
Yep, in the American version of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get started. So, I guess I'll let Decker go first with this. What is your history with Silent Hill, buddy boy?
Let's see, my history with Silent Hill. It's one of those games where I still haven't had a chance to play the games, but I've seen a lot of videos about it. I've read stuff about it. But we'll just say the most I have is like the most experience I have is through Phelan Porcius or Phalus and just other YouTube videos. But I have seen gameplay of the first four Silent Hill games from beginning to end.
That's quite interesting. I see your experience. I will raise you. I played Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3. I have never played 4, although I kind of wanted to. I've played 5, The Homecoming. I've played and beaten Shattered Memories, which I wish I never did because it was just bad. And I have never played Downpour, although I think out of the modern Silent Hill games, it's probably, while not a good game, the best of the bad, in my personal opinion.
That's what I would
My
say.
only real big problem, I'm fine with the main character being an escaped convict. What annoys me the most about the Silent Hill Downpour game it is the enemy design. They look too human. They don't look like they fit in a Silent Hill game. That's my take on that. But
it's the difference between humanoid and just people.
It's not. It's like they just don't feel like a Silent Hill enemies. Is basically how I feel about it. That they don't seem like they don't seem to fit in the Silent Hill universe. But I will say this: they are still better than Shattered Memories. I hate that game with a passion. I borrowed that game, and here's Tony. He made it.
Hey, Tony.
Tony, you're late.
Hey, what's up, guys?
You are
Sorry
late,
about that,
Uzumaki.
guys. I just got out of the shower.
This is why the Uchihas are
I
better.
apologize.
We are on time.
Tony Pajamas.
This is why the Uchihas are better. We're on time. Look, it's in my name.
Oh. Of course.
But basically, we're talking about Silent Hill, our experience with the games, our opinion,
the franchise.
And we're going to talk about different aspects of the franchise in universe mythos and stuff like that. I was just talking about Shattered Memories. I played that game for the PS2. I think a friend at school gave it to me, and it had a lot of good ideas. To be fair, it had a lot of good ideas, but the execution was just bad. It sucked. I did not like it. You could only die during chase sequences, and it was just not good. the
everybody
profiling
else
and what you
liked
did
it.
in those psychiatrist sessions affected the game, and they affected the game in a cool way. It's just the game itself was not good. It was split up into exploration and chase sequences, and you could only die during the chase sequences, and you could hide. But why hide? Why did they add that as a mechanic when the monsters could always found you no matter what? They should have made it to like maybe they found you, maybe they don't. But that's my. And Mr. Anime, we will be talking about the Pyramid Head tomorrow night, same time, same channel, and my own theory that actually ties him into his other appearances in the franchise, and it works. Besides the money. That's not part of the equation. I actually have an in-universe theory of why he's in the other games. Tune in tomorrow to find that out. But
love you, hate
and
you.
as always, towards the end of the stream, David will be handling the trivia. So I need my light for this.
Trivia.
Yes, you'll be handling the trivia like you always do. Okay. So everyone talks about that Silent Hill 2 is the greatest, and I will admit it is very good, but I think it's overblown. I am in no internet. I am not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying it has gone so inflated that everything else is faded away in comparison. To the point it's probably almost better that that game wasn't made, so the other games and future games had something different to pull from because they're all trying to retell that story. That's the problem. One of the problems with the modern ones. Anyway,
They all try to be Silent Hill 2.
yeah, be your own identity. Personally, I want to play with Heather again, but that came out wrong. Moving
I was
on.
like,
Of course.
I did not intend that, so don't worry. So we're actually going to take. I took freaking notes. I never take notes. My teachers will have a heart attack at this.
you told us excited.
Yeah, I could definitely tell.
I am excited, Mister.
He's gonna be excited like I am next week.
Oh, wait, is next week Halloween Kills?
No. Sorry, no. Next week we'll be discussing the Monster Project.
That's right. Yes, we will. Okay.
Are you drinking?
Um,
Are you drinking wine or is that blood? You vampire.
Take your pick. Take your pick, and you're right. Yes, and
Everyone in the chat, say what you think it is.
You have 3
yes.
guesses.
I've drank this much of it. Anyway, so the fog world is a supernatural phenomenon, blurring the This is what I was afraid of. I wouldn't even be able to read my own handwriting. I'm so excited. It's a supernatural phenomenon, blurring the distinction between dream and reality, mirroring the cycles of between REM sleep and non-REM sleep. The fog world will periodically shift into a deeper cycle of the nightmare referred to as the other world. The other world is more surreal and hostile compared to the fog world. In comparison, the fog world was much safer.
Yep.
And at times, kind of peaceful, in a way. My gosh. I took notes upon notes on the other world. But, where should we begin? So, now the other.
How about page 1?
You stop, mister. Now, the other world is. It is implied the other world lies on the border where reality and unreality intersect. It's both close and distant. The other world is not reality, yet it is still a real. It is still real on another plane of existence that is impossible for ordinary humans to comprehend and is difficult to describe by humans' language. It can be described as a cancerous disease slowly infecting reality until reality becomes hell on earth, or a dimension invading another dimension. All three would be accurate, both the REM sleep, the hell on earth, and dimension invading. All three are accurate. However, the other world is surreal. By the other world is shaped. Shaped by the minds and psyche of those present, usually to the effect of creating their own limbo. The characteristics of the other world has the ability to reflect a character's psyche over or even multiple characters. When I was writing this, so I apologize. And I'm excited, dang it. Character psyches. At any given time, with the twist, it can twist and manipulate the environment around them into their own personal nightmare, as monsters represent the personal fears and vices of current inhabitants of the other world. The environment is also altered to suit the subconscious of the current victim to the other world So the other world may appear different at anywhere to the slightly different to moderately different, depending on the character's subconscious that is manifesting. However, the other world typically follows a similar stylistic pattern. The other world is frequently, I can pronounce the word, dictated, I can't, whatever, as a dark, decaying, oppressive, ruined universe parallel to the fog world. Many of its environments are partially or entirely made up of rusted and bloody stained meat, metal floors and walls, grating, fencing, or barbed wire on entire sections of walls composed of flesh and other organic material resembling gore and also are also commonplace. I played this when I was 12, by the way, when it first came out. Arcade was looking on us, be like, see, I told you. Did we lose
So
Tony?
Yeah, I'm getting the loading screen too.
Dang it. Yeah. Oh, here he is. Okay. What were you going to say, Decker? I know you're going to insult me. It's fine.
Oh no! If it was an insult, I would have said it already. Oh, I was gonna say so that's why nothing no modern scary thing scares you.
I think you're right. When you start with the best, everything's kind of by comparison. The joke is, everyone, that nothing really scares me. I'll jump like that, but that's about it. I don't get scared by anything anymore. As you can see why. Elements like chains, hooks, industrial fans, cages, meat carcasses, and rotting corpses can be found scattered throughout this world. The fans that are featured in many of the games are representative of rebirth, are a reoccurring theme in this series. In the same transition, the streets of the town reveal grated floors with nothing lying beneath them except a vast dark chasm. And as opposed to the fog world, the other world is obscured by pitch blackness, whether you're indoors or outside. Your thoughts? I know Decker's like, I gotta get out of here. He's crazy. He's gonna do something. I gotta get out of here. The police.
No, it's kind of it's good timing that you made me suggested that I check out some of the Silent Hill videos from Jordan
Underneath.
Yeah, because he really put it best how most of the games have subtle transitions between the real or the fog world into the other world.
At least for the very first time in the beginning, they get more outlandish throughout the games, especially in the newer ones. But Silent Hill has this weird ability, at least in the early games, to start out subtle, stay subtle, but also grow and be more outlandish at the same time. David, did you really put in the did you really put in the comics wine blood flavor?
Yes. I mean, with that glass cup.
As a fellow troll, I have to applaud you.
Thanks. I mean, with the whole wine cup, well, it was a glass cup. I just had to say that it was wine blood
I'm about
flavored.
to pour in some more.
You're definitely a vampire.
So that's
We
why I
won't
never
get
seen
into that.
Oh, so he's a daywalker, like Blade.
Oh, it was a weird one. Mommy always did call me an oddball. Okay, so let's discuss the other world. Y'all go first. Like, what do y'all think about it? Like, and dare I even ask if since Silent Hill personalizes it to the individual, what would you think you would see there? Should I even ask that question?
I'm kind of thinking. I'm kind of like mixing it up with what is it? What the psychiatrist did in Until Dawn. It's like it would be like okay, like I'm sure it would have like the standard rust and maybe like blood stains and all that. Like I'm just wondering, is it gonna like reflect like say the repressed side of me, like all the secrets that I want no one to find out, or is it gonna be like just as many things that are based on like superficial fears, like for example, like in that scene in Until Dawn, where like do you pick like are you more scared of zombies or are you more scared of clowns? Like technically, I'm not afraid of clowns, but like fictitious clowns, especially like with like the sharp teeth, like not like like kind of like Pennywise, but like longer. It's like unnatural. Like for some reason, the monsters that would either have like unrealistic teeth or like big maws, like that look like they're broken jaws or they can't shut, kind of like those monsters from Amnesia.
Mm-hmm.
That actually took me a while to like now
I
like to
have.
look at that.
If I were, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like the monsters might look something similar to like Amnesia, where like just the still picture like took me a couple times. It actually made me jump twice. Like either I was like scrolling through images, or I was like turning the page and like.
Like, I have a feeling, if I were to be completely honest, and I think Decker can second this. Like he's like, yeah, he's right. If I were to be completely honest, I think if I was in the other world, it would be like the things that I would probably see would probably be a mixture of sexual stuff, but more extreme than James Sutherland, because let's face it, I like sex. I will be completely honest about that. And then two, a lot of religious symbols or like themed monsters. Because let's face it, the fact that Decker's like, yeah.
Go ahead, Tony.
Well, you know, Silent Hill, you can kind of interpret it as in several themes when it comes to James. Like you can come up with the with the assumption that theme represents his feelings, his emotions, like his feeling of guilt, his feeling of regret, and his feeling of grief as well. And I think that the game kind of represents how he's feeling. And I think Pyramid Head is a huge factor in that game, because he represents everything that James is somewhat afraid of. Even the image of him kind of has that masculine figure that would actually haunt James and make him see his sees that
Darker
he's a
side.
character who's very flawed. Yeah, his darker side, and that really helps the game, and that's why I think a lot of people are in love with Silent Hill 2 so much, is because of those factors, that the story, not just about monsters, but a theme about the scarier side of being a man, or being an adult, is that you live with so much guilt, and you can interpret this game of James facing his worst nightmares psychologically. That's my interpretation of it.
One of the things about Silent Hill 2 is what okay. The thing about Silent Hill 2 is it's basically a journey. It depending on which ending you get and which ending you think is the chronological ending. It's basically about a guy that's coming to terms with realizing he killed his wife, both out of love and spite, because his wife was terminally
Guilt?
ill, and he loved her, but he was also resentful because he couldn't
They couldn't live.
love her physically, and because because of her illness, she kind of mistreated him. So there's a little bit of resentment. So it was a mixture of he even admitted he did it out of love and spite, but he's dealing with the guilt and coming to terms with it after. And it's this weird, interesting thing that Silent Hill the town, in these kind of stories, both punishes the character, while trying to give small chances at redemption as well. And that's very interesting. Now, on the player side of it, it is amazing how many little things will affect what ending you get. Right down to how many times you look at your wife's picture in your inventory. That even affects what ending you get. That's a genius. Now, that being
I think
said,
that's
as much as
part of the reason.
The other now, the flip coin to this is, while like Silent Hill 2 is much subtler and much more subdued, like deeper, but also visually more like tame compared to Silent Hill 3. Silent Hill 3 has much more gore factor to it to freak out the player, but once you beat it and unlock a lot of different stuff, it becomes funny. To the point where there's an item you can unlock in Silent Hill 3 that you go into a Sailor Moon transformation cutscene and have superpowers. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Head up, Eve.
No, she does that too, and it's amazing.
However, with
you can
Silent
even
Hill,
have a lightsaber. After you beat Silent Hill for the first time, it kind of loses its scare factor, unless you don't use the special items and you play it normal again. But if you use a lot of those special items, especially the high powered ones, it gets funny. And be told, as much as I love Silent Hill 2 and how deep it is, Silent Hill to me personally is the better game in terms of, I don't want to say shock, but I think from my personal experience with it, it's hearing all those noises in your ears as a little kid, not knowing what they are, if they're going to jump out you can't see them, you can only hear them, kind of thing. And the fact that the walls and wiggle like flesh, that's the part that freaked me out as a kid.
Like, are the noises just noises, or is there something coming from them?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
what's amazing was, like, they're coming. It's not like you keep expecting something to jump out at you, and it doesn't. until it finally decides to do it. And there's one line in that movie, in the Silent Hill 3, that just defines it completely. Like, we find out that Heather is Alessa. She's the baby girl that Harry Mason in Silent Hill 1 runs away with at the end of the game to raise her. It's Alessa rebirth. But she doesn't know that. I don't think she even knows that at this point when this line of dialogue happens. She finds out later on. But anyway, she runs into Vincent, which is a character in the game which works for the Order or the Cult or whatever, and she's yelling at him. She's like, he's yelling at her, saying, "You love killing all those things and stomping out on them. You took pleasure in it." And she's like, "What are you talking about? Are you talking about the monsters?" And he just stops, pauses, and he's like, "Monsters? They look like monsters to you?" Implying that what she and the players are seeing as monsters are actually people. Now, he plays it off, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. I don't know. I think there's an argument to be made that no, there's a little more to it, since she's supposed to birth a demon god or something. But I think there's a bit of truth and a bit of lies to it anyway, because Vincent you can't really trust to begin with.
Yeah.
But I think everything good with that game can be summed up with that scene in a nutshell.
And poor Heather, she's like the amount of shock at that possibility. Like, what have I done?
Because she's at this point, she's essentially on her own. Her dad is dead. Her only family is dead. She's on her own, literally. I get the feeling that at this point, she doesn't even care if she lives or dies. That's my personal feeling. I don't know. But now that we're on Heather Mason, let's talk about her a little bit. She's my personal favorite gaming waifu. I don't care. Y'all can suck it. I say that with all the love in the world. She can be snarky. No, I'm sorry. She can be very snarky, sarcastic, and humorous. No wonder I like her. Who does that sound like? She adapts rather remarkably to the disturbing spectacles she finds on her journey, and she has a strong sense of justice. And this is the cool part, because apparently this is actual official crossover. After Silent Hill 3, the Dead by Daylight crossover, Heather has been trying to rebuild her life and still has traumatic nightmares about Silent Hill. She has become a volunteer at a crisis center for troubled youth. After 3 months, she passes her training and becomes a crisis line operator. And one day, she hears Claudia on the line and says whatever, and she gets sucked into the Dead by Daylight nightmare. And it manifests itself through Alessa's memories. And let's remember, she's also Alessa. It manifested to her as the Midwich Elementary School, which explains that level in the game. I tried playing that game so many times, and each time I play it, the power goes out.
Oh,
I'm like, I don't think God wants me to play this game either. For that to happen every time I play it.
Oh yeah. You told me about that. Yeah, you told me if you tried to play it. I don't think God wants me to play this game.
No, because like every time I play it, something happens. But the last time I played it, 3 times the power went out, and I'm not just. I think at one point the power to the entire house went out, but 3 times that same day I tried to play it, power went out. I was like, I don't think God wants me to play this game. I can take a hint. But I like the mythology.
Yeah. Hey, I forget. didn't Amanda Wynn Lee play Heather in one of the games, in Book of Memories or something? Because I heard some about that.
She has a cameo in Book
Could
of
have
Memories
sworn.
where she is a waitress or bartender of some sort, and someone tells her to go, like, I can't remember what it was, but it was a funny cameo. I can't remember what it said. I looked it up earlier. What is it?
Because I could have sworn Amanda Wynn on her
Who?
credits,
Okay.
she's credited as playing Heather.
Who? Okay. Who? I cannot remember who played her in the original and who played her in the HD remake, because I know it's a different voice actors.
Yep,
she
she
sucks.
played Heather.
Who?
HD remake, it shows, and also
She
Book
played
of
Heather in
Memories.
HD remake.
Yep,
Okay,
HD collection.
who played Heather in the original? Because to me, that's the OG, the only one, because that
Heather-
voice is amazing.
It was Heather Morris. It was Heather Morris, I think.
In the original?
Heather Morris, I think. Wait, let me see.
Yes.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Yep, I was right. Heather Morris. Heather Morris.
Amazing. Her voice, like her voice is to Heather what Lenore Zan is to Asia Clan. I love their voices. They're like smooth singing butter. Someone, Mad Matt, has a really cool comment that I want to share. Can I let me? There we go.
Yep.
He says, main reason I love Silent Hill, the story. It feels like Twin Peaks meets H.P. Lovecraft, and I love it. I don't know if you're still on here,
Yep,
Mad
I
Matt,
definitely
but that
agree.
is amazing.
I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Twin Peaks, and by the way, Twin Peaks is one of my favorite shows ever. Mad Matt. In fact, I have the whole series on DVD. Love this show. Twin Peaks.
Cool.
So,
I learned how to do something in the stream today. That's how they do that. Anime Night, suck it. I can do it too. I love you, Anime Night. Okay. So that's kind of it that I have for the Yeah, that is kind of it. I need to write, because I was gonna write down stuff about Vatiel that is basically to Heather what Pyramid Head is to James, but I didn't get to. My hand said no, I'm tired, leave me alone, so I wasn't able to do it. But I do know what his purpose was in the game.
Mhm.
So basically, a lot of the times, especially when you're either about to end, if I remember right, forgive me, it's been like almost over 15 years, but you'll either see him right before you enter the other world or right before you exit, and he's always doing stuff in the background, off, like out of view, off center, where you see him in the background. You're trying to figure out what's he doing, that kind of stuff. And sometimes when Heather dies in the game, he will drag her off and revive her. Now,
or
or
depending on the theory, prepare her for like the birthing process.
the ritual. Yes, that's the other part. Thank you. But because he essentially is servitude under this evil god, whatever thing. But so his purpose is to make sure it happens. He's essentially trying to keep Heather from dying, or like make sure like he's a guardian over her without actually guarding her.
Mhm.
He's just to monitor the situation, make sure everything happens that's supposed to happen. So a lot of the times it's also theorized that he's has control, if not somewhat some control, over the switch between the fog world and the other world.
And
Now,
sorry,
okay.
what's his name again?
Vatiel.
Vatiel. That's it.
Yes.
I knew it was Vatiel. It's
Now,
one of those things where, like, this is going back to Dead by Daylight.
Mhm.
Like part of me that like knows about the lore kind of wishes that Vatiel was like the thing chasing Heather.
Mm-hmm. It would
But-
make more sense. But money.
But like, besides money, she like conquered, like her, like she conquered her. She had trials that she conquered, and Vatiel, like because he was in the background, he never really like interacted with Heather, and I don't know, and because he's like a servant to the god that they're trying to rebirth. Like since that god is dead, since that god's dead now, like I don't know, he's out of a job. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is like maybe like because Heather conquered her demons in part 3, and you mentioned that what's happening in Dead by Daylight is like through Alessa's memories.
Well, so what basically what the Dead by Daylight thing is, there's supposed to be this huge entity, they call it the entity,
Oh yeah, the entity.
that has control over this, I guess, like pocket dimension, limbo pocket dimension kind of thing. And it's choosing all these different people to feed on and these killers to control to help feed on or whatever. And basically with Heather, it's like they all get chosen in a weird way because they all apparently have some kind of traumatic history or past. Well, who else to get chosen for that other than Heather? So she gets chosen, but I think the story wise, how they're trying to play it is because there's different levels. Because and like kind of in the way Silent Hill operates too. It's personal to each person in a way, not quite as detailed, but like giving that into account, I think that the whole power with Alessa works with the entity to kind of create that little manifestation of the elementary school, I think is what they're trying to imply.
Yeah, because if it was based more on Heather's stuff, it would be like either the mall or that where she first saw the craziness, or the carnival.
But we got to remember, Heather is Alessa. That's the part
She
that
is
we have to
Alessa.
remember.
So like, anyway, like the point I was getting at is because she conquered all the demons that related to Valtiel and what have you. What
Who's
better way?
having that feedback? Is that me, or do y'all hear it?
Yeah, I hear it.
Whose is that? I can't tell whose it is. Is that you? Is that
Yeah, I
yours,
heard it
Decker?
stop for a bit.
What?
Hold on, let me see.
It was still going.
What'd you
for
say?
me.
I think that was probably Decker, or maybe it was Tony.
I was thinking it was Decker. Decker. Wait, hold on. Now it's gone. Okay.
I think that
We
was
solved that, I
mine. I
guess.
had the bathroom
Okay.
fan on.
Okay. Okay, so I'm sorry that it's my ADD with that. I'm sorry. So please continue, Decker. I apologize.
Okay, it's all right. I thought it was mine too. I was like testing it. And
Yeah.
It sounded like it stopped after you clicked on something.
yeah, after I clicked mute.
Yeah.
But what? Anyway,
Back on topic.
back on topic. I'm almost done. So it's the okay. So yeah, like in terms of Dead by Daylight, Heather's one of those few people that are okay, maybe not one of the few. Like, there's no ending where she there's no like official ending where she like dies. She's alive no matter what.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you play the game,
In one ending, she actually grows up and becomes a single mom. But I think that's the UFO ending. I kid you not.
and yeah, Silent Hill and those UFO endings.
I think Silent Hill 2 beats them out on all of them, though. That's my opinion. Like they pull a Wizard of Oz.
Actually, now I think about it, who actually had the hardest life? Harry, James, or Heather? That is a good question. Who really had the hardest life? That's a good one.
I would like everyone would automatically try and say James. I personally would probably say Harry, because I think Heather is a close runner-up, but I think Harry beats her out ever so slightly well, for the reason that he lost. We don't know what happened to his wife. I don't remember what happens to his wife or if it's told, but he loses his daughter, finds his daughter, loses his daughter again, only to find out, oh, I have her reborn soul to raise in this new to raise now, and then he's raising her while all his life keeping his eyes over his shoulder, trying to make sure the order doesn't find them. That's got to be stressful. I would say Harry for that had the hardest life.
Heck, there's even like it's either semi-official or it is official. He actually killed someone, killed like one of the Order's people that tried to like take Heather when she was younger, and like that's why they like moved a lot.
Was that in the game or was that in the movie? I know it was in the movie. I can't remember if it was in the game.
The moving a lot was probably from the movie.
Okay. I know the killing the cult member was in the movie too. I do remember that. Okay, let's actually talk about the movies a little bit because I have a very unique viewpoint on that.
Everyone the movies. I got.
I knew he would have one. Everyone says that the movies are bad, but out of the movies, the first Silent Hill is by far the better of the two. I will agree with that. But I will say, because of a
revelation
cinema film movie pet peeve that I have in movie cinema in general, because of this pet peeve, I tend to like Silent Hill Revelations better than the first Silent Hill movie. And the pet peeve is this: when they change the gender of the main character for no reason.
Because they replaced Rose with Harry. Go ahead.
Yeah, they replaced. What my pet peeve is. In cinema, you see it a lot more with replacing a woman, replacing the guy with a woman, but that's much more prevalent than the reverse replacing a woman with a guy. It does happen, most notably in recent years. They did that in the RoboCop reboot. They replaced the partner in the original was a woman, and a vital part of him becoming a human again. They replaced that character with a guy that you could cut him out of the movie and you wouldn't miss a thing. It's a pet peeve of mine, and because of that pet peeve, as good as
I agree.
the Silent Hill 1 movie was, I tend to prefer the Silent Hill to the second Silent Hill movie more because, and the director said that he just felt a mother looking for his daughter was more believable and heartfelt than a dad doing it. I was like, well, he's an idiot. It's called Daddy's Girl for a reason, and Mama's Boy for a reason. But the other thing about it, but the other part about it was this was also when the first Resident Evil movies were coming out, and the Silent Hill 3, the game had just came out when Silent Hill 1 movie came out, not around the same time, and they were like, oh well. I feel in my head they saw the game and like, oh well, the game has a main character. We need to make the main character in the movie a woman. And I'm like, no, you didn't, because you have the second movie for that. So why didn't you just save it for the second movie? You know, because the second movie is based on the third game that came out around the same time as the first movie. Now that being said. My biggest problem, well, there's a lot of problems with that movie, but my personal problem with that movie is because I like Heather so much, was Heather was in the movie looks the part, but she acts completely different than the Heather of the game, like almost polar opposite different.
Like video game Heather's like spunky, like she's sarcastic.
She's almost border like she at times she's almost borderline bubbly.
Yeah.
Heather in the movies is the most ultimate downer.
That's not Heather in the video, not at all.
I mean, like Heather wasn't like all smiles in the video games, but she at least
but
more
she knew how to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
But like to the point, like I think it's the normal ending. In the normal ending, she approaches Douglas with a knife, and she's all acting like as if she's like tranced or something, and looking like she's about to stab him, only to go like psych.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's funny. I like her. And then,
can I say something actually?
Yeah.
I find it. Can I say something actually? I find it. Just real quick. I'm just saying that it really makes me irritated the fact that they didn't make that they had Sean Bean in the movie and they didn't let him play James. That's the biggest downer for me.
They actually had a theory going on for a while.
Great James, in my opinion.
Like, they had a theory going on for a while after the second movie ended that he was going to be wandering around Silent Hill under the name of James, saying, "I'm looking for my wife," because he is. So, and because he's used to changing his name so much, he would just change his name in this third movie. So movie-wise, I thought that could have been cool. I would love to see Sean Bean as James. That being said, I don't think we're going to get that movie because I think he's too old to do it now.
And I don't know if he's even I don't know how interested he would be.
No, I don't know. That being, but
he is.
At this point, I would love to see Vic Mignogna go to the big screen and play James Sutherland. That I would love to see. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but let me have it.
Yeah. Just tell me James he'll be in it.
Huh?
Say that one more time.
Tony, what'd you say?
Being that he's gonna die in the script and he'll be right. That will be a sequel.
Well, depending on if they go with the water ending or not, he would die in the movie. Because in the water ending, he does die, which plays into my pyramid head theory that we'll discuss on tomorrow's stream. So,
Dang. Sorry, I just realized I didn't get to finish my thought earlier, but don't worry.
go ahead.
The reason why they picked Pyramid Head, I mean, okay, I already explained why Heather was chosen because, like, she survived. The reason Vatiel is not there because she conquered her demons during that game, but that doesn't mean Silent Hill isn't still a threat, or in this case, the entity.
Mm-hmm.
And the entity picked Pyramid Head because what better than to, like, I'm sure we'll talk more about it. Like, besides the fact that he's a moneymaker, Pyramid Head basically has the role of the executioner or basically the Punisher.
That's a very good way to put it too.
So, like, if it wasn't, so in that sense, that's why it, like I said, we'll talk more about it later. But with Pyramid Head as a Punisher, that makes sense why he's in more than one game, even if it is a bit too much sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Well,
and sometimes it's hilarious, like the arcade shooter.
We'll go into my Pyramid Head theory. We'll go into my Pyramid Head theory tomorrow night, but I will give our viewers a bit of something about it to gnaw on. We all know that Pyramid Head is a physical manifestation of James, so symbolically, Pyramid Head is James, James is Pyramid Head. My theory is Pyramid Head in the future games is James, literally.
Oh. And, like, I won't say anything, but there's some like evidence from some of the other games that might support that idea. Like, it's not confirmed,
yes.
but it's
and that's why and with this in mind, canonically, it would make sense that the water ending would be the actual ending for this theory to work. Yeah, for this theory to work, that it would have to be. So I will the details will flesh out on that tomorrow night, but that is I will say that what I did say is for our viewers to gnaw on.
Okay, so what's next? We talked about Heather. We talked about the. Do we still want to talk about the movies?
Yes, let's talk about the movies. When did the first movie come out? To be honest, I don't remember. 2006. Okay, so yeah, okay. I was still in high school. Duh. I saw that movie. I enjoyed that movie. There were times like if one thing that the first movie did right, it captured Silent Hill's atmosphere. It really did. It really did. It got the atmosphere, the look, and the monsters, the feel of the monsters at least, very head on. It nailed that aspect very well. But where the first game explained things but left a lot of things vague for the player to gnaw on, Silent Hill movie tried to explain everything.
Like,
to the point that if the movies were canon, the villain of the first movie, the villain of the first game, and the Claudia from the movie and the game are all sisters, or at least all blood related. That's bad writing.
Well, here going back to the good
bad
topics.
Consistency. The verse, yeah.
It's interesting, like what they do get right, they get really right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, when Harry Mason first enter. Thankfully, I'm fresh off of Jordan underneath, so I can like.
You like that guy, huh?
I mean,
you can
yeah,
see where
I
some of my
enjoyed it.
jokes have come from.
Yes. That was like especially the like one thing that stood out in particular was like anxiety and depressed Wildman in one of your skits.
Especially like the Breath of the Wild video that we did. Like, yeah, I got that concept from Jordan underneath.
But anyway, like it goes, like the scene starts out, like you're just like Harry wakes up from wakes up from that car accident, and he realizes Heather isn't there, so he like walks into town to see, let's see if he can find, no, not Cheryl. Cheryl. Oh, did you know that's another thing they changed in the first Silent Hill movie?
Yeah,
It's Sharon.
it's
They
Sharon,
made her
Yeah.
not
Sharon.
Cheryl. Why did they name her Sharon?
Sharon.
Why?
Anyway, so he sees Harry sees Cheryl, and so he tries to go after her, and like she goes, there's a scene where she seems to go down this alleyway. Then you hear the iconic siren, like go in the distance. Like Harry even looks around, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and the area gets darker, to the point where he actually needs to pull out his a lighter just so he could see. And as he goes further and further into the down the hallway, it becomes more macabre, like the rusty fence and metal, like blood stains everywhere, and it's just like looking more like a nightmare. And then he finally stumbles upon the body.
I did not hide it there.
You're serious. But that's like one of those scenes where like the movie actually got it like pretty dang close.
It got it almost spot on, and they got the monsters in that scene almost spot on, and it was done very well.
Yeah.
It really was. Now, my first thought is, if your kid is sleepwalking to the point where she could fall off a cliff, and then you catch her and she's screaming in her sleepwalking Silent Hill at the top of her lungs, I don't know what I would do. I would probably go along the same lines as what Rose did and try and take her to the place to figure out what the heck was going on. But I would take precautions with me and lay some ground rules to my spouse. Okay, this is what's going to happen. This is what I need you to do in case this happens, and blah blah blah. Let these people know, and then I would let the daughter know. Okay, we're going to this place, but I need you to do follow these rules while we're there. I would not just go there willy nilly. I would plan it out, and I know RK was watching this thinking, yeah, okay, I've seen you plan. No, I've grown since then.
Especially
if it was my daughter at stake here, y'all.
Horror movies and how they just take logic and throw it out the window.
Oh, why don't they
Bye, logic.
come to the running
bye,
car?
Logic and
Are you kidding me?
Huh?
Oh, I
Let's
remember
go
you
where the
talking
chainsaws. Let's go into the. Why don't we go
Why
into the
can't we
running
just
car?
take
Are you
the
kidding me?
car?
Why don't we go into where the chainsaws are?
Yeah, I
Why
remember
don't we
that.
just take the car?
Let's go. And then the killer looks at them.
Chainsaws. Yeah, great idea.
Even the killer is like takes off his mask. He's like, "Are you guys serious?"
I'm a Scooby-Doo.
No, the killer. He's basically saying, "Do I have to kill these kids, or do I just let them kill themselves?"
I was like,
That's what he's saying.
Like,
Hey, guys.
especially if it was my daughter, yeah, I would be taking precautions. Oh, I would definitely go there so we could figure out what was going on, but I would be taking precautions.
Also, if
As
this
any of us would.
Hey, guys,
But
I
this
actually.
movie is like, by logic and common sense, I'll miss you. Let's face
Oh,
it, most people
sorry,
are just
what?
like, what's common sense?
One last
guys,
thing, and
hey
then
guys,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that I gotta go now. I'm sorry. Well, I'll try
Okay.
this so I can make it.
Oh,
Bill and being here.
okay. But you're good for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, sorry. There's somewhere
Okay.
I have to go.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
no problem.
Try and be
Take
here
care.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I should be.
Around
Okay.
7:00. We love you, Tony.
Same time.
Yes, same time.
Okay. See ya. Love you too.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Take care,
Love
man.
everyone on the stream, and love you audiences. Bye.
Bye,
Did
Uzumaki.
he really just do the?
Yep, he sure did.
And then there were 3.
So
I guess what we should do is wrap up with David doing the trivia.
Okay.
David,
Well-
come in. We need you.
Well, fun fact: Malcolm McDowell, he was in one of the Silent Hill movies.
Yes, he was in Silent Hill Revelations. He played.
Yep.
Oh, what was that character's name? It was I don't remember his name. He was the Grand Elder of the Order, and Claudia's father.
Hmm.
He's both in the game and the movie, but yeah, that was his part. Yes,
Yeah.
nailing it today.
Leonard Wolf.
Yes, that's it.
That's the name.
That's it.
hmm
It's a cool sounding name.
Kit Harington was in the Silent Hill movies as well.
What's Kip Harrington known for?
Kit Harington, he was Jon Snow.
Jon Snow. Jon
Oh,
Snow.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
In that movie, he played. He was in Revelations, which is basically following the story of Silent Hill 3, roughly. But he played Vincent, which his character
Yep.
was Vincent only in name.
Yeah.
I think he was okay though. I think he was cool. I liked him.
Ooh, you know who played Vincent Smith in Silent Hill for the HD collection? Yuri Lowenthal.
Really?
Sasuke!
Oh, are you freaking serious? Wait. Sasuke or the voice actress of Naruto?
The guy from Naruto that plays Sasuke.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I did not know that.
Kirk Thornton, who's also an anime voice actor, he also appeared in the HD collection.
Yeah, the HD
Hi,
collection got a
Bleeding
bunch
Shadow. How you doing?
the HD collection, like they tried.
Was rough.
Yeah, it was rough, but somehow they managed to get
Well,
not even the decent cast of voice actors could save it. Like Troy
well,
Baker.
the thing about it is, it was doomed from the start because Capcom.
Konami.
No, not Capcom. I'm sorry. Konami gave the people that was supposed to make the game an unfinished prototype of the final game to make it from. So a lot of that was they had to make stuff in the game that was already supposed to be in there that they didn't quite all know how to do. So they were having to basically clean up Capcom's mess.
Konami.
Konami. Wow,
like
why
this-
am I saying Capcom? Konami. I'm sorry.
Because
Capcom, if you watch this, I am sorry. You deserve better than that. I apologize.
I was gonna say like they're okay now, like they're doing better now, but Capcom has been notorious for one reason or another.
Yeah.
Mostly with
But
when they
it's,
try to squeeze money out of stuff.
they're doing better than Konami is. I mean, for whatever reason, Konami I don't know how they're doing it, but they're shooting themselves in the foot continuously and still making money. I don't know how they do it.
I know they can only rely on Bomberman for so long.
And like Konami has milked Silent Hill to death and trying to resuscitate it like we need one more.
It's like the Pacheco machine isn't cutting it.
Like, I don't
What
know
could have
what
went?
they're doing, but there is a glimmer of hope because they're trying. The people that made the medium they apparently, like, because of talks that have been going on and what has been leaked. I think medium was their test run to see if they can make a Silent Hill game because they're contracted with Konami to make one. I don't know if that's good or not. We'll see.
We'll see.
Can they break the mold and make a good Silent Hill game? Only time will tell. If they do more game stuff instead of gimmick and the cinematic story, maybe. Maybe. We'll see. But, I don't know. I like Silent Hill. Silent Hill has a very, like, even with the most hardcore Silent Hill fans, they have a love-hate relationship with them. I have a weird relationship with it. I like Silent Hill. I don't dive too deep into it, but I do enjoy what I play. But yeah.
You know who else played a character in Silent Hill? Laura Bailey. She played Claudia. Claudia
That sounds
Wolf.
familiar. Where's Laura Bailey from?
She played Maka from Soul Eater.
Oh, that's right.
Toru
And let's
from
not forget
Fruits
Guy.
Basket.
What's that guy's name that played James? Guy something.
Someone else played
His
Claudia
whole
as well. Some lady named Donna Burke. She appeared in Metal Gear and Final Fantasy
Interesting.
as well. Also, Magical Girl, Lyrical Nanoha. The series. Also the games.
Also the show. Also the comic book. Also the manga.
It's like, how do you voice a comic book? They found a way, damn it.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Look at the
Audio drums.
Uncanny X-Men.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
So,
Troy Baker. Yep, he appeared in.
He
Silent
tried so
Hill.
hard. He tried so hard. He either
The original version.
Either he tried
Guy-
hard, but it didn't work. I mean, either he did his best, but the game still was bad, or he sounded so bored. I can't remember.
Did they get
Is he the one that took
some
over for
Chinese
voicing James
actor? Yeah,
The new in the HD version.
in the HD? Yeah. Well, the funny part is a lot of the voice clips are off by several frames. So a lot of times when they should be
the
talking,
original voice actor, was he like that last name? His
I
name
can't
is
remember.
Guy.
Guy
It's
Seehee.
not-
Yeah.
yeah,
Was he Asian or something?
I know he wasn't Asian.
Uh,
I don't remember what he was, but I know how he got cast. He was down in Japan doing something, and his daughter wanted him to try out, and he went there. And the moment he walked on set and delivered a few lines, the people were like, "We want you," and he asked him why, and he's like, "When we were creating James, you look exactly how we pictured him."
oh wow.
So they literally modeled James after this guy's looks, literally.
Or they happened to
So-
match up.
Yeah, so it was really cool because those odd movements and odd dialogue and deliveries were intentional. That's how they were directed to move, directed to sound, and directed to speak. And a lot of those motion captures were those voice actors in those funky suits, which is not easy to do, performing it.
That part, I did. Yeah. I keep thinking like the full motion suits are like a more recent thing, like not like before the 2010s, but pretty close to the 2010s. But yeah, it's like
I just
motion
know
capture.
that like ever since the PS4, the PS1, no PS2, maybe at some point, but the PS1, they were a thing.
Mhm.
You know who else was in Silent Hill? Another anime voice actor, Michael McConaughey.
Michael McConaughey.
He was the narrator in Bobobo.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know I've heard that name.
He was also in the original Transformers, apparently.
Maybe
Oh my
that's where I
gosh.
heard it.
Cosmos
Nothing
and
wrong, man.
Trax. He also appeared in the Robots in Disguise series.
Ooh.
Transformers, robots in disguise.
He also appeared in Code Geass.
Who did he play in Code? Never mind, because I don't know the characters that well.
Lelouch's father.
That makes sense. That's funny.
He's a great voice actor.
Oh,
Kind of reminds me of how
He appeared in Shattered Memories.
I hate that game. I'm gonna have PTSD flashbacks tonight now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna call you up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're gonna have a fit.
Ooh, you know who appeared in the live action movie? Someone from the X-Files.
I'm not too
Laurie
familiar.
Holden.
Laurie Holden.
Yeah, she's a blonde-haired actress.
What else was she in?
I don't know.
You
Who
don't
did she
know.
play in the Silent Hill movie?
She played Sybil Bennett.
Cyril Bennett, the
Sybil.
cop. Okay,
Sybil.
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 Oh, she's
The
also
cat.
in Walking Dead.
Yep.
That's Andrea.
Wow.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to talk about, like Sybil, how like even though she didn't get the ending that she deserved, she still went down like a champ.
It's amazing too because I don't know. Partially because I don't know the timeline very well, but I don't know how old that actress was. But I know the X-Files were in the 90s. I know that I don't remember when Walking Dead first started.
I
So
think
it had to have
2009,
started.
2010.
Oh, okay. So that means she played in Walking Dead after Silent Hill. Okay, never mind. That helps clear things up then. Never mind. Don't let me forget, Decker, to tell you something really cool that I found out after the stream.
Okay.
Because it
Only-
doesn't have any relevance to the stream, and in fact, people will think I'm even more weird if I say it on the stream. So,
well, you better make it quick. My dad's asking. My dad's asking for help already.
oh no, okay. Well, I guess.
He already asked. Hey, almost done.
Okay. Well, I guess because of that, we'll end it here. And I'll say thank you, Honey Badgers, and I'll see y'all same place tomorrow night if our plans work out. So I will see everyone here tomorrow night, same time.
Catch you on the
And
wild side.
always walk on the wild side. Anything else is boring.
Yeah.